year after year after year with the losses that have been piling up. I like what I'm seeing now. We have 6 wins, J-Rock Daddy. That's one more win than we had in 2012. That's 2 more wins than we had last season. I got to tell you, I think it's another win. You know, we got 7 games left, J-Rock Daddy. I told you last week, you finish winning only 3 of those 7, which is less than 50% winning of the 7 we have left. They finish with a winning season for the first time in how long? But going back to the Cleveland Indians, like you said, they got plenty of money with a young club, young guys under contract that are making minimum wage.
I mean, they
if you
got
want to
bad
call
contracts
it
too. Don't get me wrong. They've got Nick Swisher. They've got Michael Boyd. They've got bad contracts that are going to be a definite weight on their neck. But they've got the ability to make. I'll tell you, I don't know. Just this real quick. You just reminded me of something, LG. This weekend, and I'm gonna talk to Dan Wismar about this when we come back. I don't know if some of you heard the rumor about the Dodgers and the Indians supposedly interacting in some trade conversations about one of those high-priced outfielders that the Dodgers have. I heard Matt Kemp's name thrown around, and what made me laugh is that some of the bloggers, some of the smart money people that know it all were the same people that'll tell you, you know, about how the Indians won't go get Victor Martinez because he costs too much money, will perpetuate this story about bringing in a cat who makes $21 million. You know what I mean? Like, what's the difference between that and Victor Martinez, man? You know, but I'm not saying it's not true because I've actually heard from several people, and I've talked to a couple of people nationally that have heard the same things. There has been some talk, so who knows? But, you know, the Indians talk to everybody. I don't know how much reality there is, but I got a funny feeling. Maybe it's not Matt Kemp, maybe it's nothing with the Dodgers, but I got a funny feeling that the Indians have a bold trade or two coming down the pike. I think they're going to shuffle the deck on this team a little bit because they know they're hamstrung with a couple of these contracts. They're going to have to do some things, and who knows? Man, I had a buddy.
Well, one trade I wouldn't mind seeing the Indians make, J-Rock, and I doubt that it'll ever happen, is trading Antonetti to another team.
I knew you were going to say that. I'll tell you what, though. I had somebody over the weekend propose, and I'm just going to say the way he put it to me made some sense. Lindor being the centerpiece of a big type trade to bring in somebody, and you're basically and I'm like, man, I don't want to trade a guy I've been waiting to see that long, because there's a reason we've been waiting to see him. But to make the kind of move some people want to see the Indians make, that may be the kind of chip that they may have to include. And if they think that they're good with Ramirez, if they think that they're good with what they can do, then maybe, you know, I'm just saying. I think they're going to pull some type of a trade that people go, wow, I didn't necessarily see that coming, but I like what I saw. Mike Brandenberry's been saying the same thing,
well,
too.
That's why the trade may be leaning towards trading Antonetti. We're going to have to ask Bruce Wood what his opinion is on that.
My man, I love it. I'm up against it. I got to get Dan Wismar in on the show.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Daddy, until then, let's go Browns, baby. I'm looking forward to Sunday, and I hope we see the same Cleveland Browns football team that we saw in Cincinnati last Thursday night, J-Rock Daddy. If so, we're going to 7, baby. 7. I'll talk to you soon, J-Rock Daddy. Have a good day.
7-3 after 10. I'll be all about that. That's LG. And by the way, thanks for letting me know, you guys, about the problems with the phone lines. I'll get those fixed. So unfortunately, I can't open the phones to you guys, but I can still be joined by Dan Wismar from the Cleveland Fan. Coming up next after the news, we'll pick up right where we left off. We're talking about teams contending here in Cleveland. I'm telling you, it's not this is not, hey man, I'm from Cleveland and every team's the greatest. I mean, I honestly believe that if you look just with a clear eye at the scene of these 3 teams, you can see where in the next 12 months, I think they all have their season where they make it, which there you go for Cleveland. And I do believe that the next, I'd say 3 to 5 years, it's that window that includes them all. And it's very, very rare that you've had that here in the city of Cleveland. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Browns win, because I haven't heard from Dan Wismar since the game the other day. We'll get all of that. And OHIO, baby, the Buckeyes. A lot of people thought they could win, Not many people, I think, suspected that they could dominate the Spartans the way they did. Let's talk about all of that and more after we get you caught up with the news. Dan Wismar joins us next here on the Sports Fix. Hey, do us a favor. Take the opportunity to tell somebody else to tune in right now. Let's get this thing rolling as we get to the next hour of the Sports Fix. Share the link wherever you're listening. Share the love. Tell somebody else to tune in when Dan Wismar joins us next here on The Fix.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into...
The Sports Fix. We'll be right back. It's an addiction. The Sports Fix. We'll be right back.
Business owners and professionals, do you want to take your business, your product, your team, your event to the next level? You want to advertise right here with the Sports Fix. Our listeners are among the most loyal listeners, terrestrial or internet. The Sports Fix universe is not only the radio show, but tens of thousands of fans on Facebook and Twitter. Email me, Jerry Myers, thesportsfix@AOL.com. That's thesportsfix@AOL.com. And let me help you swing for the fences and hit it out of the park right here on the Sports Fix. Whether it's an oil change or a new set of tires, Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck has you covered for your automotive car care needs. They're your neighborhood quick service experts. They also offer a low price tire guarantee. Choose from 13 brands, and if you find the same tires at a lower price within 30 days, Quick Lane at Valley Ford will refund the difference. They're open late Monday through Thursday until 9 p.m. and open early Saturday so you can check it off your to-do list and get on with your day. They also have a newly remodeled service lounge and additional service bay just for Quick Lane oil changes. Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck is located at 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 bridge in Valley View, just down the road from Independence. 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 bridge in Valley View, just down the road from Independence. Come see why life is better in the Quick Lane. QuickLane.com/Valley Ford Truck. That's QuickLane.com/Valley Ford Truck.
Portions of the Sports Fix brought to you by Signs and Ship, the official printing source of the Sports Fix. Locations in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Florida. Find out more at signsandship.com.
News break. Good morning, I'm Bob Picozzi. The official word will likely come later today, but according to ESPN's Adam Schefter and multiple reports, the Cardinals fear that they've lost quarterback Carson Palmer for the season. An MRI today is expected to reveal that he did tear the ACL in his left knee in yesterday's win over St. Louis. Hey, Bears fans, looking for a silver lining? Your guys held Aaron Rodgers without a touchdown pass in the entire second half in Sunday Night Football. Of course, Rodgers did throw 6 touchdown passes in the first half. His Packers pummeled Chicago 55-14.
Well, I can promise you this is not easy. It's not easy to do this every week. We put a lot of time in, we all do. We prepare to be successful. There's a high expectation on our players. It's tough to go out and execute but it kind of works together and believe in each other.
Green Bay led 42-0 at halftime. Quarterback Mark Sanchez makes his first start in 23 months tonight when his Eagles host the Panthers in Monday Night Football, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN. Georgia football coach Mark Richt says he hasn't decided yet if running back Todd Gurley will start Saturday against Auburn. He's been reinstated after serving a 4-game suspension for accepting money for autographs.
People have been using DollarShaveClub.com for a while now, and getting great blades delivered for just a few bucks a month is awesome. There's no contract, no fees, and if you're not completely satisfied, they'll give you your money back. Sign up now at DollarShaveClub.com.
You're listening to the Sports Fix.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix live on the Sports Fix Radio Network. J-Rock back with you guys as we get ready to roll into hour 2. And just as I suspected, I had to, you know me, I told you guys, I'm OCD, man. When there's something going on, I'm sitting here I'm like it's like literally that need to wash your hands all the time. When there's something wrong with the show and I'm on the air and I can't do anything about it, it drives me insane. I'm telling you, if you guys listen to the show long enough, you'll be able to know that I'm going crazy inside just by listening to the tone of my voice, because you can hear me. It's like my skin's crawling. It's crazy. I'm not okay. Maybe it's not that bad, but it drives me nuts because I want everything to be copacetic, as they say. I did figure out what's wrong, and I was right about it. I tell you what, it's just crazy. And I would have never thought to check this until you guys told me that the phone lines were not getting through, and then I looked at my phone. And I noticed I had some text messages from people also not able to get through to the show, and I figured out what it was. It's because all I did was switched the payment method of my account. However, Skype, which is what we use for our phone lines here, they didn't give me the option of just switching the method. So I signed it up with a different credit. I signed the same account up with a different payment, and it was nothing. It was just, I didn't even have to do it. That's the best part. It just was something easier for me, paperwork-wise, to switch the payment method. So I did. Long story short is it appears that and I wouldn't have known this because when I open it up and open up the phones, it doesn't show me what my phone number is. But Larry just let me know that apparently the number is different there. That's what it is I do believe that they switched the number. So I'm going to have to get a hold of them and let them know that there's an issue there. Apparently that's why. But it's not coming back anything but busy. So hopefully that means that the standard number's just in the ether and I can get this fixed. Usually that's all something like that is just a matter of getting the wires crossed, and they'll have to reattach the phone number to the account. I am able to dial out, which means I was able to get Dan Wismar on with us. So we're good to go, guys. Thank you for letting me in. But yeah, so now you see the craziness that I deal with behind the scenes. I had to figure that out, though. And if I would have had another 2 minutes in that break, I'd have gotten a hold of them too, but I didn't have enough time to do it. Welcome back. J-Rock with you. Since we can't go to the phones, you guys, Facebook.com/TheSportsFix. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix CLE. Email us, thesportsfix@AOL.com. I'm going to go to the phones, be joined by Dan Wismar, pick up where we were at just before. I was talking just a bit about Cleveland's window of opportunity, not just any particular team. And I've said it. I said before the season, by the way, that I saw all 3 in 12 months coming. And it's not like it's some Nostradamus stuff. I can just look at the teams and see where they're opening up. Let's pick up right there with Dan Wismar from the Cleveland Fan. Dan, how you doing this afternoon?
Hey, I'm doing great, Eric. It was a great weekend. My predictions, 1 out of 2 was right, and turns out at least I was right in the right way. Wrong in the right way, I guess I should say. I picked the Buckeyes to win and the Browns to lose, and so I was half right and half wrong, but it all works out.
Yeah, that's one where you're good. You're like, hey, that's cool. I don't mind that I was wrong about that one there, man. And that's a good place to start. But, before we talk about the Browns and the Buckeyes, though, what I was saying there before the break, and as you were coming on, and hopefully, I think hopefully people see the same window that I'm talking about with the Indians, because it's there, man. I mean, they really are in a position. It's tricky nonetheless, where, like I said, they got a couple of albatrosses to work around, but they have a few on the back end, those low-end contracts that they can make some things happen. They may have to part with some prospects that they may not. And I got to tell you, man, I did hear an intriguing Lindor scenario over the weekend where I said, well, if the return is right, I could see where you're coming from. Although I keep saying we ain't wait this long to see the kid play for nothing. There's a reason that we all want to see him play. But are you with me, man? I think this is the year coming up, and it may have already begun if this Brown season, I don't care how you look at the calendar, but I think all 3 of them are making the playoffs in the same 12-month period, the same basic season.
Well, from your lips to God's ears, J-Rock, I would say.
That's right.
And I can certainly see the potential for that. Sometime, recently here on the family of networks, ESPN, they open up these stories about Cleveland with, and from the center of the sports world, Cleveland, Ohio,
right.
And it's half in jest, but it's half not in jest, because here the Browns are in first place, and I can't even believe I'm saying that to you. But
alone.
and the Tribe certainly has a window. I've already seen the Tribe pick the